I just had the craziest, like, mind-opening call with my mentor, Kaden, and that shit was sauce, right? Let me explain. I was speaking to him, and he said, me and you are very similar in a way that we constantly correct ourselves and seek perfection in a standard that we've created in our head for our future self, right? So, here's me in the future. That's what I look like. I'm here now, and now I'm trying to jump up to here, right? And the standards I'd have here, I'm trying to hold myself to such an extent where I'm actually damaging myself because I'm not allowing myself to take these steps up to where I am here, right? It made me realize that I am so critical on myself. I don't let my thoughts empty out of the cup, and instead I try to replace my thoughts and the way that I am when my cup's already full, right? Instead of pouring the cup out, metaphorically, and then putting new water, putting new thoughts in, I'm trying to literally, like, I've got the cup overflowing, boom, 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 water spilling everywhere, right? It's creating a fucking mess. And he said, bro, the reason why you're not doing as well as you could be doing is because you're not letting yourself do as well as you could be doing. For example, I've got this weird thing where I hate cold calls, bro. I'd rather fucking hang myself than do cold calls. I would rather tie a noose around my neck, and if my camera pauses here, don't worry about it. I tie a noose around my neck and hang myself than do cold calls, right? And he said, bro, like, if you don't get that thought out and stop trapping it internally, like I've just done then, how are you ever going to change that thought? How are you ever going to change anything if you don't speak it, let it out, bro? If you don't pour the cup out? And I don't know, it just really clicked in my head. And I just realised, like, with everything, I am so critical. And I think I mentioned in a video or two back about how I would beat myself up about not waking up early, and I wouldn't wake up early the next day. And then I had to think, and I was like, I hold myself to such a high standard to book meetings. I hate cold calling because I'm afraid to not perform. I'm afraid to not live up to my standard that I've set for myself in my head, which is only inside my head. No one else knows this standard of me. No one else knows this picture of what I look like, how hard I work, the business I have. No one knows that. I only know that because I've created that myself. And so I'm holding myself accountable to a guy who's had so many years in the game and so many reps that I'm not letting myself experience what I need to do and the reps I need to take in order to become that guy. And it's just crazy. And what I'm going to do after this video, and this is like a little exercise that he told me to do, and I'll probably have to do this quite a bit, is I'm just going to sit and stare at my ceiling and close my eyes and just visualize all of these thoughts coming out and say it. Like the most barbaric thoughts, like I want to burn down like cities and villages and commit mass terror so that I can rebuild it my own and build an empire. That's such a crazy statement. But I'm a man, right? I'm 18, I'm a man. Yes, I want to conquer shit. And he also mentioned that society tries to put a blocker on your natural thoughts as a man. It is normal as a man to want to conquer. It's normal as a man to want to cause violence. It's normal as a man to be violent. That's normal. It's just what we decide to act on that society puts a label on us, good or bad person. But what is good or bad? It's so relative, bro. Even to you, to yourself, good and bad is relative. Our perceptions of good and bad are completely different, right? And the thing is, like, if you tell yourself that these thoughts are bad, you'll push them deep down and you won't let them out in order to replace them. And I'd never want to replace this conqueror desire I've got in my head. One of the biggest people I looked up to is Genghis Khan. He killed a quarter of the world's population, significantly reduced CO2 emissions, where it would require millions of trees to be chopped down in order for that to happen, and then raised it because he killed, conquered, and then fucking reproduced. My camera's frozen, mine now. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that, like, these thoughts that you get and that I get are normal to have, and you are not different. You're not weird for thinking shit like this, bro. And I think it's just good to let your thoughts out. Like, this is completely raw. All the energy that you feel right now, all the emotion you feel right now, the way that I'm speaking to you right now is completely authentic and completely correlates to what I am and what I'm thinking. And that's why you can feel the energy in this video. I know you can feel it, right? And you know, like, you're feeling me right now, not in a gay way, but like in a way that's going into your head, in a way that's going into your body, bro, right? You need to do the same for yourself and allow yourself to to be convicted in your own thoughts. Like, yes, I think this, cool, whatever, and then let it go. Because, like I talked about past memories only being attached to us by emotion, our own thoughts are generally only attached by emotion. Like, overall, we are emotional creatures and we operate purely based off of emotion. And this all ties in fucking, oh, that's a crazy phrase. But I was talking to a guy on a sales roleplay today, George. And he was saying to me, like, I find it hard to ask the emotional questions in the sales calls because I'm really not that emotional. I'm quite nonchalant. And I said to him, bro, that's just the complete fucking opposite. Like, oh, these are crazy phrases. That's the complete opposite. Like, bro, you're a completely emotional human being. Everyone buys off of emotion and justifies with logic. You do things based off emotion and justify with logic. Discipline itself is purely emotional, bro. Because let's say you're about to get in the cold shower, right? And then you say, for example, my boy, he always thinks, well, if I don't do this, then my goals mean nothing, right? That's an emotion. That's an emotion. And when you try to really, like, tie that shit up, like, you really try to stop your emotion. These camera freezes are pissing me off, right? When you try to stop your emotion, and you stop your thoughts, so in turn you stop your emotion, you actually just end up suppressing yourself from success. And, like, how long are you going to keep this inside of you to the point where you're not even you, if that makes sense? Like, oh, bro, I don't know. And that's not to say don't be disciplined, don't do the work. That's just saying, like, you can think about whatever. I've articulated it well, but I feel like I've not articulated it enough. I think we need to stop putting things on a pedestal. So Kaden also explained that, like, right now I'm looking up to this ideal version of me who, like, I want to be like and who I strive to be. But then what happens when you look up to something, when something's on the top shelf and you're 5'2", You can't fucking reach that shit, right? But when something's below you, what do you bend down and pick it up, right? I'm not being funny. If you're 5'2" at 18, you ain't growing any taller, my bro, right? So you ain't ever reaching that top shelf. So you have to find a way to put that shit below you so you can pick it up easier, right? And it's a silly metaphor, but when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Because whatever you idolize always runs away from you. Oh my fuck me, these. Ah, stuck for the law. Why am I swearing so much? Bro, like, even that's like a self. It's like a critical thing. Anyway, when we idolize something so much, it runs away. It just sprints, bro. It runs the other way. If you idolize money, what do you never make? Money, right? And if you don't idolize money, what do you make? Money. If you don't give a shit about your physique, obviously you do all the right things, like you eat a good diet, but you don't inevitably don't care about it. Like, you're not idolizing it. You don't get a good physique and you'll be chilling. You can operate like a normal flipping human, bro. Like, if you idolize a woman and getting a wife, what's gonna happen? You ain't ever getting a wife, man. Cause, like, bro, it's so, like, it's a smell on you. Like, it stings. Like, I can look at someone and tell, like, okay, you're thinking this is above you. And it's so interesting because the thing is, if we were all self-aware, the whole world's problems would be fixed. Like, hyper self-aware. And that's contradictory to what I'm saying in this video, but it's also not, because I'm also aware to know that I'm thinking these things and to let it go. And then also being hyper aware of yourself and surroundings allows you to be grateful for things in the present moment. There isn't a bad thing that hyper awareness of yourself actually does, unless you're self-conscious, but then you're also hyper aware why, and then you can fix it. Like think about it. I don't know, it's just fucking, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I really hope that this video has helped people in my position that needed this. And I hope this helps people who aren't in my position yet but will be have this knowledge to help them in the future. And I hope everyone in the past who might have not realised what they were doing wrong but listened to this video has learned something from this. I want to shout out Kaden and Dom. Shout out Simple Scale. It's the best group ever. That shit's so good. I've just made a 13-minute YouTube video solely based on what my mentors just taught me about myself. So this whole video is basically a testimonial to what Kaden and Dom are doing for everyone in Simple Skill. Obviously, you've got to put your own reps in. I've got to put my reps in. No one told me to make this YouTube video. I'm doing this shit myself. This is not a testimonial or a plug. No, it is a testimonial. But, like, it's not a plug for Simple Scale to get more people in. It's genuine thoughts and feelings, just revealed to me and self-actualized by Kaden. So, shout out you, my brother. I hope all's well. I hope your call goes well. And I'm going to be providing some more updates. Overall updates. A2P campaigns registered. I scraped about 10,000 Florida remodelers, and I've decided I'm going to go into remodeling. Done 2 sales role plays today. And yeah, I've just kind of hammered it in, man. Like, I've been hammering in the role plays, the sales role plays, really tuning that in, and I'm quite optimistic. And then there's also a side of me that feels like I shouldn't be optimistic, but there's a side of me that goes, just shut the fuck up. So like, I'm at this like constant mental war of like not knowing where I stand as well. But I'm only there if I say I'm there, so I'm kind of not there, especially after I do this tonight. And it's not really a war, it's more just an internal conflict, like between multiple personalities, or like multiple parts of me, multiple segments. Okay, I want you to imagine this, yeah? Alright, I'm not using that. Okay. Each one of these, right? I can't even. Okay, each one. That's got coffee in it. Each one of these is you, right? It's just different sections of you, right? So this could be happy Karai. This could be conquering Karai, but I just want to conquer everything. And each part of you has its own individuality, and having its own individuality, they all co-pilot you. So you aren't actually you, you're multiple things. You're multiple people inside of one body, right? But you have to satisfy all of those people in your body in order for you to be able to, one, function, and two, be successful. And all of your emotions are purely based off of your individual personalities inside of your head that require attention or are talking. I know this sounds really schizophrenic, but if you really think about it, right? Like, if you're antisocial, you're an introvert, and then you spend all your time forcing yourself to be extroverted, what's going to happen is the introvert itself is going to start screaming, right? I don't want to do this shit no more. Just put me in a room and lock me away, right? Now, what happens is you end up, like, self-sabotaging, and then you just go on a downward spiral. And so that emotion coming to you in the form of, like, you not wanting to socialize is your internal, like, introversion screaming at you to let it have a moment. So, like, what I'm getting at here is that you need to understand the parts of you and then how to negotiate with them in order for you to become successful. And Charlie put it in a really good way, Charlie Morgan, because I got this from him. He wanted, like, Lamborghinis, and his, like, status mind, his status personality, started buying Rolexes, Lamborghinis, blah blah. And he knew that his status mind wanted to come out a little bit, his status personality, right? His little status glass, right? And so he made a reasoning with it. He will only show his status through his product, the value he provides, and his business, right? That's the way that this status will get its fulfillment. Instead of buying the nice cars, the materialistic things. So really look at yourself as well, I guess, like that, the action item, or the question I want you to ask yourself is two things. What parts of yourself, the core mechanisms to make you work, are you ignoring and you need to address? And I think that's actually covered it. That's two questions in one. What parts of yourself are you ignoring? What emotions are being signaled to you from this state that you have pushed on that you need to get out and release and bargain with? And I think that's going to help a lot of you guys out. I hope, really.